And we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm so glad that you could all make it and join us on this Thursday. So, we're really, really happy that you could all join. Before we begin, I just want to confirm, can you all hear us and see everything? Okay. And we're just going to wait a few more seconds for a few people to join. Yeah, some last minute coffee breaks and all of that. While we wait, of course, for our wonderful attendees, I'd love for you to drop in the comments where you're joining us from. And can I ask you, please, for you to subscribe and like our Executive Automats YouTube channel. You'll find some fantastic, useful videos over there. So please like. Okay, great. Thank you. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. So we're going to begin. So for those of you who don't know, of course, joining for the first time, I'm Pranavan Naidu. I'm from the Executive Automats team, and together with me are my colleagues Bartosz Beck, who is our product line manager, and Jakub Golda, our IT security specialist. And together we help customers secure their business processes through easy to use codeless testing automation solutions. And of course, we effectively manage their custom security role creation. And we do this so that we can reduce their license costs in Dynamics, right? That being said, we're going to kick off today's webinar, which is custom security role configuration in Dynamics 365. And we're going to look at how to start, yeah? Okay. So I'm just going to go through a few housekeeping before we go into the agenda. And of course, I would just love to share that this is your webinar. So if there's any comments, any questions, we'd love for you to pop that over onto the chat and ask as many questions as you'd love to. So that's that. And of course, this session is going to be recorded, so you'll have a chance to see this on YouTube or all the other platforms. And let's go into today's agenda, yeah? All right, so we're going to kick off with what resources do you need to handle a security project? We're then going to go into how to start and plan that project. And we're going to look at the two differences, the different ways how to create roles, some of them quick or high precision. And then we're going to have a great demo. You guys are going to really enjoy this, where we show you the Executive Automats security setup. Don't want to miss this. I also wanted to share that we have a special giveaway for those of you who will be with us right to the end. So make sure that you stay with us until the end, because there's something really, really cool up for grabs. And we're going to obviously have a wonderful QA session to end off everything. We're looking forward to all of your wonderful questions. Yeah. All right. So I have the great pleasure of handing over to Bartosz Beck, who is going to take us through today's presentation.
Yeah, hello everybody. Thank you so much, Preston, for the introduction. Again, a pleasure to give you this session today after Orlando Summit, where we've been just a week ago. We are still on track with multiple new feedbacks, with multiple new features. Today, we're going to show you some concerns and some ideas how we can approach the security project, because we see that this is one of the pain processes in the implementation and after go live, that simply security is not well treated. So yeah, we're going to walk you through the concept, and regarding the giveaway, there's going to be something nice. For the first time, we are giving away new roles, a package of roles which we created as an example that you can actually see on your environment how optimized it can be from the user interface perspective, as well as the experience. And then cleaner the UI is, your users will understand more efficiently your dynamics. Your implementation might cost less after the licensing calculation. Plus, we definitely can sort of show you on details on examples that implementations which are done on optimized roles, the learning curve is increasing drastically. So that's something good to see. So this will be at the end. So now let's see, what resources do you need to handle a security project? One of the common questions, one of the common concerns, as a partner is not delivering full security scope. They are simply saying, guys, we've done the implementation, the UAT is close to the end, and now you have to handle out of the standard roles, out of the standard duties, you need to handle the security side. So if you don't have your internal in-house Dynamics team, you just need an IT administrator or QA in a situation where you've got defined documentation or defined processes. There won't be a need for admin or a specific person with the Visual Studio access or a person with a significant experience in Dynamics. You can handle this optimization project, the security development project, with your in-house resources. Of course, that simply addresses that there are two different ways. We're going to talk about that in a moment, how we can build the project. And there is a simple way of delivery of the security. It doesn't require very highly experienced users in Dynamics. If you don't have your processes defined, which simply means that you don't have your hierarchy of the organization defined, you don't have your processes identified and described in the some kind of documentation, then it would be essential or needed to have business analyst, business architect, or consultant who was implementing Dynamics to describe what exactly users are doing in the system. On the right hand side, you see that organization hierarchy, and this is all about the approach of the security that we are promoting, to create roles which are orientated based on your organization hierarchy, based on your actual positions in the system, in your company. Thanks to that, you are very precise. You are giving access to only those processes which those people are using. So this is not like you are using standard roles which are created based on the APQC standard, and they are very broad. They will give you too much, and you will overpay on the licenses. You will be very inadequate on the UI UX experience. So that's why it is important to understand that you don't need to have significant team. You don't need to be super big to do this project. Right after that, if you think, okay, we've got the team, we've got the documentation, how to start? We very often recommend to have the separate environment for the data security, which means that you can have one development environment dedicated called dev security or devsec, however you're going to call that. This is the environment which is some kind of a image of the current security layer where we develop, where we do maintenance. We have also UAT security environment where we approve with the business users that they actually approve the shape of your current role, and this sort of is acceptable from the perspective of performing the business processes. So we want to make sure that the business users, which for which we are creating these roles, they are okay with what they see. Because if they are not able to perform business process entirely, that's a stopper. So we have to iterate as many circles on that map as you see on the PowerPoint presentation, to make sure that we are giving enough access to these users. So when we've got that, when we've got the environments, we've got that possibility to have documentation. We can define the position distribution and the hierarchy of the organization. So this means that we are creating that hierarchy, and we are assigning every business process that we've got on the organization for each position. So we are building this map to make sure that we are understanding 100% what the users are doing, and thanks to that, we are sort of describing 100% what the business is doing. We know that this is 100% what we need. We are thinking about periodic processes. We are thinking about daily processes. So you want to do a perfect coverage of all your business processes that you perform on the system side. If you're going to think about that in a very broad perspective, this is a key milestone to get to also perform test automation. So this is the one-time activity you're going to do at the starting point, which as a result gives you security access. It can give you regression plan for your one version. Very important and very quick to do. Not exactly you need some help from your company, from your implementation partner side. You can do it on your own if you are just the end user. So when you've got this organization structure hierarchy, we can think where to start. Yeah, so we can try to do it in the we can identify that in the two ways. The one way is to understand how many users are working on each position, and just try to sort of compare that and see on which positions we've got the most users. Let's say we've got the most users focused on sales. We've got 100 sales. And then we are starting from this position and working down through the list to the purchases, to the warehouse workers, and so on and so on. So by identifying the most common positions, the optimization of the licenses will have the biggest result. It will be the biggest cost saving. An example of the case study with our customer in United Kingdom, we were able to limit the numbers from basic finance license to the team member. And bringing this down from basics, which is so-called old operationals, to the team member is giving you a lot. It's giving you tens of dollars per person per month. In the result, the customers can save tens of the thousands of dollars yearly just to this activity. And this is one position. You can go down through all company, for all positions, all hierarchy, and then you're going to have significant result, significant benefit. The other approach is the security danger, which means data defraudation and so on. This means that some companies are already after the activity of the license, but they want to make sure that they want to make sure that the danger, which is in a specific module, is addressed. So we are doing the security access in the way that it is simply limiting access to those vulnerable places in the system to only those people which should have access to it. So we are trying to make those areas secure. We're trying to distribute access to those specific areas, maybe to some bank accounts editing, to some specific trial balances only for selected users on the system. This might be a possibility to start the SOX compliance segregation of duty approach. So that's typically two paths which we start with: security of the system or license cost optimization. And then we are starting to circle around that specific process. And let me just walk you through what we see on the right-hand side. We've got position distribution. So we want to see how many specific positions we've got in the organization. We're identifying processes. Subsequently, we are recording these processes in task recording or executive automats for security setup. We are converting these processes very easily to the duties. Then we do first level license check to see if the license level is optimized, or if the conversion of these processes is not resulting in very high license. Then we do UAT testing, which means that we are performing check with the users if these processes, these roles are effective, and they are telling yes or no. So then we reiterate if you're going to find the gaps. So if the gaps are found, you are able to reiterate with the users to simply add more duties, more privileges to address that. Then when we are ready with the user, ready with the role, we are building the layer, which means more and more rows are covered, and at the end of the row, at the end of this specific cycle, security cycle, we are deploying this to specific environment where the users can perform broader verification of the system activity. Of course, we are switching to next position if we have more rows to do, and we just circle this around just to make sure that we have all elements included, that we've got all positions covered, and then we've got everything in place. So that's a very simple element. And if you're going to think about the two ways, high precision and quick delivery, the reiteration of the gaps, if they are identified, this is the moment where those two approaches are having different sort of paths. When you want to do very precise security, which means that you have to, or you want to limit entry points which are not used in any direction, then you will need to open up Visual Studio in some cases. We are talking about 5% of the entry points, and identify them in more advanced way. If you are thinking about quick delivery, there will be no need to open up Visual Studio for security creation. It will be very simple, and we will show you that on the demo with Jakub, where you're going to see the application. Overall, let me show you the screen of the Executive Automate for Security. So you're going to see what we are talking about exactly. When you are in the system and you want to tell that we are missing a specific button, like charges, sales tax, or any of these which are on the top ribbon, underneath these buttons, we've got an entry point. Of course, we can use a privilege, which will be as small as possible, to add access to cash flow. But if we don't want, we can use our extensions to the system, which are giving you precise information what this is, what exactly is standing behind the button. If you're going to use the standard, it won't be so simple for you, because system doesn't go so deep as we are. So this is extracting for you a low-level information about the entry point visible on the screen. If you want to do this on more elements, you can use another extension which is showing all entry points visible here. So you don't need to open up Visual Studio, and you are able to browse through existing elements on the screen. So I can simply tell the system, I need those three, and please add that to our process, which is applied to a specific user, so my accountant can perform that specific activity. So it might be very beneficial. Of course, if you found out a gap and you would like to do adding the smallest possible entry, the smallest possible privilege, you can use some options from the security diagnostics and add privilege to the duty. So it will be not precise, it will be quick delivery, but it will cover those gaps which you've identified in the discovery process. So this approach, this element where we've got this this arrow, this just shows you that this is the moment where you might use those smallest entry points which are created, or you can switch to the quick delivery, which means privileges. Yeah, all of these elements, all of these approaches, strategy, performing a planning for security, this is all we deliver. We want to give you a complete approach on the security from the perspective of the product, which simplifies the security delivery, and also the strategy and approach how we can build the security access in the system. And this is the same way as we are performing with Executive Automats. So you are handled from the we are walking with you through the starting of the project up to the end with support. And what is also nice to say, that this application can be delivered to you as a trial within 1 or 2 weeks. You can browse through the Executive Automats for Security setup with all kinds of functionalities with our quick training. So you'll be able to deploy that. As we are mentioning today, we are giving away a package of 5 roles This is actually a screenshot of the application. When you're going to deploy that, you're going to have 5 custom roles, which we created within a evening with Jakub, having a nice conversation about the security lately. So they are very fast to create, and you will see how low you can get with optimization of the UI and UX. Of course, they are just concepts, and these might be not exactly adequate to your company, but this can give you a taste how low you can get. And I think now the best moment to introduce Jakub, our main star today, to show you the demo of Executive Automat for Security setup. This will be one of the first webinars for Jakub. He's performing perfectly on latest demos and sessions with customers. So I'm glad that we have him in the team. Welcome, Jakub. The stage is yours.
All right. Hello, everyone. I'm very happy to be at this webinar. Thank you very much, Bart, for introducing me. And now let's move on to the application layer. All right. All right. So can you see the environment, our in Dynamics? All right. So on the left side, what you can see, this is our hierarchical structure. For example, we have got in here 5 departments, like you can see, finance, HR, warehouse, project. And this is what Bart said is very important about to prepare a good structure, because how you can see, like in each of the department, we have got some positions. I will try now to expand all of the positions, and you will see. So, for example, we can see in the finance project, we have got fixed asset clerk. So, like you can see, in the duties and job task, we can see every of the duty which are from the processes which we record in the executive automats. And also, you can see the naming is that to better understanding to which of the role are based. So also, what is very important, because when you have got the higher position, like head of finance, you can see that the head of finance has got not only the processes, the duties, which are from this only position, but also has got all of the duties which are from the fixed asset clerk. So that means that our structure is based on all of the elements which will be in this one of the departments. All right, let's go now to our examples, which Bart said about this will be your giveaway. So what you can see, our roles are based on the processes created from the test cases we can record through executive automats. Our second application, which is used for the test automation, allows us not only to automate tests, but also to use them in the creation of customized roles. And you can see this all of the duties are from the executive automats. And now you can see, for example, sales representative. And you can see we have got many of the processes, like assigning a free text invoice, generate and post recurring free text invoice, create an invoice. And this is all from the executive automats, which we record in there. All right, now let's go now to the security license, because our application has not only the possibility to create new roles, new duties, but also has got possibility to analyze the license costs. All right, so let's go now to the security license, and I will show you one of the tabs, which is user license summary. And now let's imagine the situation where we have got 2 users. For example, we have got Bartłomiej and Brat, for example. And we can say there is the same position they have got. But Brat has got the standard role from the Dynamics. And Bartłomiej has got the role created in our application. And what you can see, that Brat needs basic finance operation license type. And we can see the cost for that. So this is very high cost and very expensive. But if we create our customized role in our application, let's see, for the Bartłomiej, we can see that he has got team member. And this is the same license. This is the same processes, but different license. And you can see the cost for that. So you can see how can we decrease the license cost, each of the user and the license. Now, I would like to go to the executive automats and show you how we can get this process and how we can check the process and replay that. Let's go now to the executive automats. All right, we are in. So what you can see in here, we have got the same positions like in the executive automats security setup. So we have got accountant, HR specialist, pricing manager, sales representative, and warehouseman. So this is the same like was in our application layer. And what we can see in here, this is the same processes which are combined to the duty. All right, let's go now to the adding new method of payment. So what you can see, we have all of the steps in our process, and now what we can do. All right, let's play back that, and we will see the changes, what's going on in this process. We click play. Now new open will be open, and we'll go through all of the process. And after that, we go back to the executive automat security setup and then upload this duty, upload this process to the duty, and then upload to the created role. All right, let's wait until our dynamics will be uploaded and click play. So like you can see, the recorder will be going through all of the steps, and we will see the status of execution. We'll see how it's going, and we can not only use these processes to regression testing, but also to create new roles and duties. So like you can see, the second step was the go to accounts receivable, payment setup, method of payment, and we're creating new ones. So like you can see, this is very easy also to create new processes and also to adapt that then to our tool, which is executive automat security setup. So like you can see, we can see all of the changes which going through in the dynamic side, and we can see the execution status. So that's also very important when we're thinking about the regression testing in our application. All right, let's wait until the process will finish, and we'll back then and create from this process and all of these steps. We're gathering all of the paths, and then these paths will be giving us possibility to create from them some duties. All right, so we have got end script step and this path. All right, so we know that script, that process is end and finish, and execution was successful. Now we can close the window. All right, so our process is ready to upload that to our application. Now let's go move to the security process role maintain, when everything will be doing about the creation of new processes, new duties, and new roles. All right, so let's go to the sales representative, and like this is very easy. We can only just click load from the EA script, and only what we need to do is just find our script, our process, which we record in the previous session. All right, let's find out that. Yes, we got it. So this was adding new method of payment. And what is very important, we have to set these checkboxes, include table permission and include control permission, and then we just click OK. After that, like you will see, the new process are added to our application layer. But this is not the end, because what we need to do now, for each of the process, we have to create new duty. So what we have to do, we can use we can use the same name like was with the previous, but with the other number, for example. And only what we need to do, just create new duty. For the example, sales representative 008, click OK, and new duty is created. All right, but how now we can just create from this and modify that to the role? Only what we need to do, just click save. So this is the next step of that. And you can see the state is changed from the added to unchanged. That means for us, this process now is assigned to our new creation, to our role. Next, what we need to do, go to the security configuration and publish all of the changes, because this is very important to do that, because without that, all of the modifies not will be done to our environment. All right, so let's just now publish that. And after that, we can go back to our role. And what we can do now, because we created the role, but we have to assign now this role to the user. So we go to the system administration, to the user. And now what we need to do is just find out our user, which we want to give this role. All right, we find out and click assign roles. And we need to just find this role, which we modified. All right, so this was the sales representative role. We're just clicking OK. And this role now is assigned to our user. Now, I would like to show you how it looks like from the perspective from the user side, because we want to know exactly how it looks like and what now we have got permission. So after we just refreshed our account in Dynamics, and what we will see, like you can see, we're not adding a lot of unnecessary models. We're only giving these models which are needed to perform these actions from our script, which we record in the executive automats. So, like was the example, we go to the accounts receivable, and you can see how many we have got now. Not many, but we have got, like, we playback this script was the payment setup, method of payment, and what you can see, the same process we can do like was in our process. And this is how we can do that and perform all of the action. And also what is very important part, that we not give like unnecessary buttons, unnecessary models. Like when we go to the, like, for example, all free text infos or other tab where we have got a lot of buttons, you will see that we give this actions buttons which are performed. Like you can see, in the standard role, we could see a lot of unnecessary buttons. But when we customize and create by our application, you can see we only give the important buttons which are from our scripts. Now, let's back to our application, because this is not all what I prepared for you today. Let's go now to the security process role maintain. And now, I would like today, this is very important, I would like to show you something special. We have just for this session a non-released version of our tool, which includes export and import single roles and duties, and in the example, deploy it on selected environment. How you can use that? You can create new role. Let's go back to our category, and just like you can see in example, deploy it on selected environment, and just like very easy way, we just can download that, and after take this from the developer environment to our new environment. All right, thank you for attention. That is all what I prepared for you from my part. Thank you so much.
Perfect.
Thank you guys so much, and thank you, Jakob. That was fantastic. So, as we've all been waiting, this is a wonderful time for everyone to get involved in our Q&A session. So I'd love for everyone to please share with us any of your questions, comments that we can all help you with.
And maybe just one thing, after sharing this file, this is an XML file you upload with the standard functionality called import of the security configuration. So maybe just let me share the screen just last second. After you download this, you can go to your environment of your Dynamics, and using the standard export and import in the system administration security configuration, you can simply go here, data, import the file, then you can browse for the file and confirm. System will then show you 75 unpublished objects, which are including those 5 rows. So after publishing those rows, they're going to be available for adding them into selected users on your environment in a shortcut. If somebody will have a questions regards that file, just let us know. We can meet for a few moments just to help you deploy the specific rollback. Yeah, so let's switch back to the Q&A.
Okay, fantastic. So just seeing a few comments here. Great, we have a few attendees joining us from Dubai, from the USA, India. It's great. From Poland.
I saw a question. I don't know where does it come from.
Just seeing.
From the studio, I don't see that regarding the segregation of duties, how we approach that, and maybe this is a word for clarification regarding the segregation of duties. This is the starting moment. So if you are thinking about doing segregation of duties, it will be very effective to perform the first recreation of the duties, so you know exactly what they consist of. So you convert your processes to duties, and then when you build segregation of duties rules, you know what to exclude. Because if you will not perform this activity, you're going to use the standard duties, it might be hard for you to understand how to build a rule based on what should be excluded with something else. The segregation of duty matrix is a lot of work to do, to develop, to implement. So to simplify the process, it would be good to approach the duty creation first.
I have a question here from YZ994, and the question is, hello, one question, which tool did you use to play the process by itself?
So this was the Executive Automats test automation tool we have. This another product we are offering in a pack. You're able to build your test automation regression plan. So you do test automation for one version for your internal in-house development. And out of that, those all test cases that you create for testing, they can be converted to those duties, roles, and so on. So we are working mostly with this because this is the perfect synergy. But if you want, you can use Executive Automats for security standalone only with task recording. So these products can be separated. They can work in pair.
Thank you so much, Bart. Okay, perfect.
Perfect. So this will be as well very easy to do. Task recording is not so deeply, it doesn't have so broad context of the security items, but it will work very good. So if you're going to be interested, we can show you more.
Okay, let's look at any more questions here. Okay.
Yeah, I see that we don't have so many questions today. Hopefully, everybody does it work with 2012? Yes, it works with 2012, and there is also the product which is embedded there. It is a little bit different because you have to deploy XPO, so this is not the separate. This is not anymore as easy as it is here. But yes, you are able to use it in 2012 as well.
Okay, so yeah, we love to hear any more questions. Please let us know, comment. Also, you would have seen the trial, so of course, please feel free to click on the link that's on the comments here. So if you're That we would love to set you up on that free trial. And you'll also have our contact, or my contact details will come up just now. So you can book a call with me if you guys would like.
Okay, I think if we don't have, because I see very specific questions regarding some agreements popping up. So
Okay, let's see here. So where do we find the licenses for each user? Where can we find the licenses for each user?
yeah, we can take that. Yeah, this is the special report.
Yes. So the security, we can just go to the security license, and there is the. I will just give me 1 second, and I will just share my screen and show you how, where exactly we can just find out this. For each of the user, we can find all of the license which are connected to them. Just give me 1 second, and I will show you. All right, so we go to the user license summary, and like you can see, we have got listed all of the users, and to the user we have got connected, like you can see, to any of the user, there is connected one of the license, or if the user has got much more than one license, that also will be listed. So for example, Casey, she has got basic finance, STM project. So also we can see the prices for each of the license, and we can just check every of our user in our environment.
Exactly. This is the extension we created especially for the application. So this is not standard one, and it is aligned with the latest or current, we can say, licensing model of Dynamics Finance and Supply Chain Management.
Awesome.
Perfect. I mean, if there are no more questions for today, you can always send us questions over to Preston or anybody else from the team. You're going to see contact details at the end. So feel free to jump in. Also, feel invited to another session we're going to have in Charlotte next year on the AX2G sessions. We are present on each community events which are happening in North America as well in Europe. So you can see and talk with us in person. And I think this will be a perfect moment to end up, maybe.
Absolutely. Well, I think that we will conclude then today's webinar. If there's any questions, like Bart mentioned, please feel free to reach out to us. You'll see our contact details will appear any moment now. And again, thank you so much, everyone, for taking the time to attend, and I really appreciate your comments. And we will really love for you to subscribe and like our YouTube channel. So please share it, like our videos. It's going to be fantastic for you and the team. Until next time, thanks everyone. Have a good week.
Thank you. Have a good one. Cheers.
Bye.